talking nonstop.
Change, not get it, and then just sort of come up and get behind one of the elbows. You're in on the body lock, and now it's a problem because then he could just force him. He can either Kosoto hook, trip him out, force him to his hands. So I would imagine Paddy might be. It's going to be close, I think, in the odds. I don't want to say what the odds would be because that's really not my forte in any kind of way. But I would imagine that the odds are probably going to be kind of close. I would think that that's a good chance for Paddy to win, but with real risks about his defensive striking along the way. Yeah. And really, obviously, as we all could understand, a last hurrah, certainly, for Justin Gaethje.
How does that offer you a #1 contenders fight without fighting someone in the top 5, ever? These words ignited a firestorm, questioning Paddy Pimblett's path to an interim title shot. Experts now openly debate if his undefeated UFC record is truly earned, given his opponents. Beating names like Gordon and old man Tony Ferguson is respectable, but it leaves a gaping hole in his resume. This brutal assessment from Wade Plemons instantly sparked controversy, casting doubt on the legitimacy of this massive matchup. The silence from Paddy's camp was deafening.
Justin Gaethje not gonna drink, party, gonna train, dedicate himself, be focused. It's his last chance in this life. He's fighting he was fighting for the title maybe 5 times. So this is his chance and the end of his career, win the interim title, fight for the real title, and then retire. That's the best for him. And I'm gonna, Justin, if you need the help, let me know. I'll fly to you and help you.
The UFC 34 announcement sent shockwaves, a truly wild pairing, Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. Predictions flew fast, some fueled by belief in Paddy's evolving skills, others anchored in Justin's raw power and experience. This audacity, pitting a rising star against a seasoned veteran, has become a full-blown controversy. Fans are locked in non-stop discussions, dissecting every angle, every oda key. It's transformed what could be routine into an anticipated, unparalleled clash.
He said, and I'm sure he will, take it very seriously and he will come in shape. I know he's a little older, obviously 37 years old, but like stylistically, how do you see the fight going?
I mean, Justin, sometimes he fights so good, sometimes so bad. Hopefully, he's gonna overstrike him on the feet, with his boxing and kicks, and then Paddy gonna try to wrestle him, and he's gonna defend his wrestling and win by decision. We win by decision, Gaethje.
Arman Tajarukian, a fighter himself, didn't hold back on Justin Gaethje's situation. He sees this fight as Gaethje's last chance in this life for championship glory. Arman views Justin as someone who's tirelessly fought for the title, perhaps 5 times, always just short. This interim belt is a do-or-die moment. His plea for Justin to train, dedicate himself, and stay focused highlights the immense pressure. It's not just a fight, it's a career culmination, a final desperate push for a legendary ending.
I was debating with someone in the comments about this. I think the wins over Fiziev are good. I know he's fought him twice, and the second fight especially was short notice, not the same as the first fight, but I think it shows that Gaethje is still a contender in this weight class. Yes, he lost to Holloway, but if you remember in that fight, I believe he got his nose broken fairly early in that one. Still a very good, entertaining fight. I think Gaethje's right there. Now, the big question is Paddy there? It's tough to say, but I will give Paddy his credit. That win over Michael Chandler was outstanding. That was a dominant win, dominant performance. He followed there previously to that. You got a really quick win over Bobby Green, or King Green now as he goes by there as well.
Arman Tsarukyan's commitment to Justin Gaethje was astonishingly deep. He offered to fly out and personally help Justin train if needed. This unparalleled gesture from a top-tier fighter highlights the bout's gravity. Arman desires nothing less than Justin securing the interim title, fighting for the real championship, then retiring on top. A storybook ending. Such an open offer reveals raw, emotional stakes for Gaethje, painting a picture of a career at a crucial crossroads.
Like I said, I'll do a full breakdown on this later, but I'm leaning Gaethje here. I don't think he's done. I don't think his chin's gone. I know Gaethje's been submitted before. Typically, that's how Paddy wins a lot of his fights. He's got 11 wins by submission. But if you look at it there, Gaethje's not a guy, like the last guy to choke him out was Khabib, and Khabib, in my opinion, is one of the best ever. So I'm not worried about Gaethje's ground game in this fight. Like I said, he's got an iron chin, and Gaethje hits like a truck. And the thing is, unlike Michael Chandler, Gaethje can go toe-to-toe with Paddy and probably have some success as far as the striking goes. So I could see Gaethje either knocking Paddy out or at least winning if he keeps this fight on the feet. But I do like Gaethje in the spot. It's 5 rounds. I think that also favors Gaethje a little bit. I'm not too worried about the age. Like, again, I didn't think he looked like he was on the decline against Fiziev. So at this very moment, I am leaning towards Justin Gaethje in this fight to get it done, whether it's by knockout or maybe a decision in this one. But I am favoring Gaethje.
Dintama, a keen-eyed expert, leans pretty heavily towards Justin Gaethje. He dismisses Paddy's craftiness, arguing Justin's relentless downhill violence will inevitably catch him. Gaethje, still a banger man, possesses power and pressure that forces opponents to stand and fight. Dintama believes Paddy will struggle to withstand this. This stark prediction sets a confrontational tone, suggesting Paddy's cunning tactics will be insufficient against Gaethje's unyielding force. Could make this fight close.
And then you have Paddy Pimblett, who, I'll be honest, yes, I did want to see fight Ilia Topuria because they have the rivalry, because it goes back for so long, because I think it would be a fun build to a fight. But when you look at Paddy's record, you have him beating Gordon, old man Tony Ferguson, old man Bobby Green, and then Michael Chandler. You fight who's in front of you, so I guess you can't really blame Paddy for that, but it's like, how does that offer you a number 1 contenders fight without fighting someone in the top 5 ever? You know, until this moment. He's 7-0 in the UFC, but he hasn't fought anyone in the top 5 to even get to the title shot. Again, interim, I know, but that doesn't make sense.
Dintama further doubts Paddy's ability to easily take Justin Gaethje down. He feels Justin's movement and violence in exchanges make controlling him on the ground incredibly difficult. This will force Paddy into mistakes Dintama is convinced he won't recover from. Given Gaethje's punishing power, it's a brutal assessment of the stylistic mismatch, painting a picture of an inevitable, painful outcome for Pimblett against such a formidable opponent, with momentum to win.
Gaethje, and the last big win that Justin Gaethje had was in 2023 over Dustin Poirier. You had the loss to Max Holloway. You had the 2 wins versus Fiziev. You have the loss to Oliveira. So really, your big wins are Fiziev, Poirier, and Chandler. A guy that's retired, Chandler who's no longer at top of the division, and Fiziev that's kind of holding water at like the mid part of the rankings. And again, you want to talk about activity. Gaethje has 1 fight in 2025, 1 fight in 2024. It's not like he has been super active. And probably the guy that doesn't deserve it more is Paddy. I have to say, it's probably Paddy. Gaethje has the better wins, but he's older. Paddy is undefeated in the UFC.
Dintama said Luke Thomas framed the matchup as a classic striker versus grappler, highlighting their contrasting styles. He emphasized Justin Gaethje's precise, devastating power, then revealed a critical flaw. Paddy Pimblett often keeps his chin high. This defensive vulnerability could be disastrous. Luke believes Gaethje needs only 1 clean shot to put Paddy in serious trouble. The stage is set for a high-stakes chess match where 1 misstep from Paddy could abruptly end his night.
Gaethje for sure.
Yeah?
I think absolutely. I mean, just, you know, Gaethje he's still a banger, man. And it's somewhat like Paddy's crafty. Paddy's really crafty. And he's shown that he can withstand certain things and he can hang around with certain guys. But I just think, you know, when Justin Gaethje gets rolling downhill and the amount of violence and he's able to catch up to people, like you can try to be crafty as you possibly can with Justin Gaethje, but eventually he's going to catch up to you and you got to stand up and fight him. Max Holloway was able to do that. Like Max Holloway he was obviously doing very well, but then when he sat down on his punches, I mean, we saw what happened. So I'm not sure that Paddy Pimblett has the ability to do that. And I'm pretty sure Paddy Pimblett can't take Gaethje down. So I'm leaning towards Gaethje, in fact, pretty heavily, actually.
However, Luke Thomas also uncovered a key weakness in Justin Gaethje's armor that Paddy could exploit. Despite his striking prowess, Justin struggles when an opponent gets to his back, appearing like a fish out of water. Past submissions, notably from Khabib, offer a blueprint to neutralize Gaethje's ground game. This revelation flips the script, introducing a glimmer of hope for Paddy and a potential path to victory that bypasses Gaethje's formidable stand-up.
Yeah, I haven't thought about it too much, but over 5 rounds, it is an interesting fight. I mean, we'll see if Paddy can get Gaethje, or he can get on top of him. We saw how violent he was against Michael Chandler, so that would be interesting. But yeah, the task is getting Justin to his back first because he's not easy to take down either.
No, and we've seen him. He's moving. Justin Gaethje's moving better, but when he wants to really sit down and be violent, he can. And I think that's going to present problems for Paddy. It's going to force Paddy to make some mistakes, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to take the amount of punishment that Justin Gaethje's able to dish out.
This is where Paddy Pimblett's specialized skills shine. Luke Thomas identifies Paddy as a back specialist, adept at obtaining and maintaining dominant position. He notes Paddy's weight class size, suggesting a strong clinch could get him behind Gaethje's elbows, securing a body lock to force the fight down. Once Paddy is on Gaethje's back, it becomes a problem, making him incredibly difficult to remove. This strategic advantage offers a clear, albeit challenging, route for Pimblett to potentially shock the world. Difficult to remove.
I would think that exactly goes. Gaethje on the feet and Paddy on the ground. So let's talk about the fight itself. It's a great question. There's just no doubt in my mind, a bit of a striker versus grappler. Paddy can strike for sure, but he leaves his chin in the air. It's a real tough test for Paddy, but the problem is we all know Gaethje has just, of course, he's got good defensive wrestling, but as you saw with Khabib, if you just force him to his hands, or there's different ways for him to get to his back, once you do that, it's a problem. He seems like a fish out of water at this point. So Paddy, who is a back specialist, both in obtaining it and then maintaining position, that's very advantageous. At the same time, he's got a little bit of that going on, and I think a guy like Gaethje can still send his chin into orbit. So very much a striker versus grappler, but it just feels like Paddy is big for the weight class, and all he really has to do is clinch and then get behind the elbows, and then that's what he can do. All he has to do is level.
Luke added that the fight could be. Paul Felder, speaking from experience, sees this as a true career-defining moment for Paddy Pimblett. If he beats Justin Gaethje, you can't say shit about this kid anymore. Felder declared, underscoring the challenge's magnitude. A victory over the highlight would silence critics, erase resume doubts, and prove he's more than hype. This matchup is the ultimate crucible, testing if Paddy truly belongs at the lightweight division summit, or if his ascent was merely an illusion.
Change, not get it, and then just sort of come up and get behind one of the elbows. You're in on the body lock, and now it's a problem, because then he could just force him. He can either Kosoto hook, trip him out, force him to his hands. So I would imagine Paddy might be, it's going to be close, I think, in the odds. I don't want to say what the odds would be, because that's really not my forte in any kind of way. But I would imagine that the odds are probably going to be kind of close. I would think that that's a good chance for Paddy to win, but with real risks about his defensive striking along the way. Yeah. And really, obviously, as we all could understand, a last hurrah, certainly, for Justin Gaethje.
Felder further stressed Justin Gaethje's sheer danger, calling him one of the most violent, dangerous guys in the whole lightweight division. This stark description elevates Paddy Pimblett's challenge to an almost insurmountable level. Beating someone of Gaethje's caliber, with his power, experience, and the chaos he brings, is monumental. It shows this is not just a step up for Paddy, but a leap into the deep end against a true shark, exposing him to unparalleled danger.
Paddy Pimblett is who he is and is going to draw crazy eyeballs. And anytime you stick Justin Gaethje in a goddamn octagon, you're going to get craziness. You're going to get an unbelievable fight. It makes sense to me. It really does. I do feel for poor Arman Sarukian, who's so fucking good and probably really the truest test for Ilia Topuria and the whole division. Not that Gaethje, not that Paddy can't pull it off.
In a surprising turn, reigning bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley is kind of leaning towards Paddy in this high-stakes contest. This unexpected pick from a fellow fighter immediately raised eyebrows, offering a fresh perspective. O'Malley cited a specific Gaethje vulnerability, his susceptibility to left hooks, a detail often overlooked. While acknowledging Gaethje's stunning Poirier knockout, O'Malley's insight suggests a tactical opening Paddy might exploit, making his prediction far more intriguing than simple bias.
Paddy, I still think, has a ceiling that we really haven't seen fully touched yet. I think he's got a lot of room to show us. If he beats Justin Gaethje, you can't say shit about this kid anymore. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, he's got an opportunity to really show, even though Gaethje's been around a long time, he's one of the most violent, dangerous guys in the whole lightweight division. And if he beats him,
O'Malley's faith in Paddy Pimblett stems from believing Paddy has a lot of ways to win, hinting at a multifaceted attack beyond striking. He champions Paddy's creativity and unique style as potential game changers. Confident these attributes give him real opportunities against Gaethje. For O'Malley, the fight contrasts Paddy's innovative approach with Justin's brute power, implying skill and unexpected tactics could genuinely surprise people and overcome raw force. It's a bold champion's endorsement.
I don't know, dude. I'm kind of leaning towards Paddy. But the way he does get hit with left hooks, he looks so good against Michael Chandler. Paddy's got a lot of ways to win.
He's a scouser.
He's a scouser. Scousers don't get knocked out, you mushroom.
He KO'd Dustin with a head kick too. The fight
Gaethje,
before
yeah.
the Max Holloway one, which is pretty impressive.
James Lynch firmly supports Justin Gaethje's top contender status, stating he's still right there among the elite. Wins over Fiziev prove Justin can still compete at the highest level, dispelling any decline. Even the Holloway loss didn't sway Lynch, who noted Gaethje's early broken nose. For Lynch, Justin remains a dangerous, sharp contender, whose recent performances solidify his position, maintaining his reputation as an undeniable force in the lightweight division. While James Lynch credits Paddy Pimblett's impressive run and wins, including dominant performances over Michael Chandler and Bobby Green, he poses a critical question. Can Paddy truly handle someone as proven and dangerous as Justin Gaethje? Paddy's ascent is undeniable, but his victories came against opponents who, while skilled, lack Gaethje's championship pedigree. This creates a significant unknown, forcing Paddy to prove he belongs at this elite level under the brightest lights. Lynch's final prediction heavily favors Justin Gaethje, citing key advantages. Justin's thunderous power and iron chin make him formidable in striking. His history of enduring tough wars, submitted only by the absolute best, like Khabib, suggests Paddy will struggle for openings. The 5-round format further favors Justin's championship experience and pace. This gives him a distinct edge in stamina and resilience against a less tested Pimblett, painting a clear path to victory. Wade Plemons admits this fight is a tough call, highlighting both fighters' distinct strengths. He acknowledges Paddy Pimblett's youth, momentum, and undefeated UFC record as strong assets. Paddy has consistently beaten opponents including Chandler, Green, and Ferguson, showcasing growth, yet the glaring absence of a top 5 opponent until now creates uncertainty. Plemons wonders if Paddy's consistency can bridge the gap against truly elite competition. Plemons then critically analyzes Justin Gaethje's recent activity and win quality. Gaethje had only one fight in 2025 and one in 2024, a less active schedule. Plemons questions the impact of Gaethje's big wins like Fiziev, mid-rankings, and Chandler, no longer top tier. This leads to a controversial conclusion. Plemons surprisingly suggests that despite Paddy's own resume concerns, probably the guy that doesn't deserve it more is Paddy. This statement starkly challenges conventional wisdom. The stylistic clash guarantees an explosive encounter. Experts describe Justin Gaethje's style as a rolling downhill force, a relentless torrent of violence. Paddy Pimblett, conversely, is consistently called crafty, showing resilience and ability to hang. The core question, can Paddy's nuanced strategy diffuse Gaethje's aggression, or will Justin's power simply cut through any game plan, forcing a brutal stand-up war? The tension in this dynamic is incredibly palpable, promising a dramatic showdown. Analysts agree Justin Gaethje's striking is elite, capable of devastating knockouts. Taking him down and holding him there is a monumental, rarely achieved task. However, Paddy could exploit Gaethje's known ground vulnerabilities, especially with a body locker elbow control. This striker versus grappler dynamic ensures every moment, whether on feet or mat, will be high stakes. Each decision could alter the fight's complexion, creating a compelling, unpredictable narrative. The fight's duration adds intrigue. As a 5-round main event, many experts believe this favors Justin Gaethje's championship experience and proven ability to maintain a grueling pace. He's endured countless wars, showcasing unwavering resilience, yet these extra rounds also offer Paddy more chances for a submission or to exploit late fight fatigue if his grappling wears Justin down. It transforms the bout into an endurance test, where mental fortitude rivals physical prowess. Ultimately, this fight is pivotal for both men. For Justin Gaethje, it's his last hurrah, a final desperate charge for glory. For Paddy Pimblett, it's the defining test, a chance to prove he belongs at the lightweight division summit. Silencing doubters, this isn't just an interim title fight, it's a battle of legacies, a true proving ground, where one seeks redemption and the other validation. It's an unmissable spectacle with massive implications. So, What does it all mean? This matchup is a powder keg of conflicting styles, high stakes, and passionate expert opinions. Some predict Justin's relentless power will lead to a devastating knockout. Others foresee Paddy's sharp skills and submission prowess, finding an upset opening. It's one of those rare fights where anything truly feels possible, destined to be fast, intense, and possibly end before the final bell. The stage is set for an epic clash that will define careers and ignite endless debate. Who are you picking in this absolute war?